All right. Hello, everybody. Those of you watching live or in syndication, and certainly everybody listening to our podcast. Welcome to another episode of How I Met Your Mortgage. As always, I'm your host, Adam Smith, with Just the Tips Coaching, and with me, pretty much as always, is our co-host and one of our coaches, Jen Wayboer. Good morning, Jen.
Good morning, good afternoon, good night, whatever it is.
Well, it's morning for us.
It's true. I was going to give you major props for not saying good morning at the beginning.
But I know. That's why I only said it to you. I'm not addressing the entire audience with good morning. Just you.
All right.
All right. And we've got a great guest for you guys today. A real estate agent and marketer extraordinaire from Colorado, Paul Wozniak. Good morning, Woz.
Good morning. How are you?
Good, good. Thank you for doing this. I know we've been anticipating it for some time. I think we've had you on the books for about a year now.
That's right. That's right. We've been planning this for a while. And excuse my typing for 1 second because we're all over the place, originating from Zoom, but going on to Facebook. And I want to make sure that I share this. How I Met Your Mortgage. That's good enough. Let's just get into the conversation here. I'm also live from my page, just to let everybody know. Go to Adam P. Smith's page at Just the Tips Coaching, How I Met Your Mortgage this morning. Thanks for having me. Really, really excited to be here.
No, we've been looking forward to it as well. You and I had a conversation, what I'm guessing is about a year ago, so pre-pandemic, and we did it over Zoom.
Yep.
So we're certain, well, I don't think anybody is a stranger to Zoom anymore in 2020. But yeah, we probably spoke for, a solid hour about all kinds of different things, and maybe we'll touch on some of that today. But first and foremost, why don't you give us a little background about you, how you got into the game, what you had been doing prior to that. If you want to go as far back as the high school musical theater, then by all means, we can certainly talk about that. But yeah, tell us about Paul.
Well, the truth is, my high school musical and choir experience was very formative because that was my first dip into mass communication and the world of communications. It let me know that I had a thing for speaking to crowds and speaking to people and expressing myself. So it did kind of guide me toward a communications degree. And then I went into a radio career. The radio career turned into a media career when the internet came. And then when the internet came, that actually squeezed me out of radio because, as soon as you give people choice, they're going to take choice. So the internet came, the options for music became a lot better. The world of broadcast radio really dwindled. So the old dinosaurs that used to broadcast before the internet, like myself, and I have to admit the internet was around when I started broadcasting, but it was, not many people had it. We got squeezed out of radio. And as soon as I was out of radio, I thought to myself, what would I do besides radio? Because I just couldn't imagine anything else. And I just decided that I wanted to have a profession where I could make some good money, where I could help people, and where what I'm doing contributes to society and also uses my talents. And that led me right into the world of real estate. I've been in for 4 years. I'm with Remax Alliance, down, Fort Collins South. And that's the only brokerage I've ever been with. And it's been a great experience since then.
How long has that been the case? How long have you been with the brokerage?
4 years, since 2016.
That's a long stretch. There's a lot to be said about that kind of longevity, a single company. And hopefully our audience will pick up what you're putting down in that sense, because that's really a big deal. And don't get me wrong, we see some agents change companies about as often as I change my underwear. And we see some agents that have longevity like that. I've been a broker owner on the mortgage side for about 16 years. Only worked for one other company before that for a number of years. So when I see people they inquire, our coaching clients, hey, we're changing companies, or I want to change companies, we're really not experts at it by any means. And on the mortgage side, we get a lot of inquiries, broker versus banker, and I have no information for those people there either. I've always been either a broker or a broker owner. No idea what the retail world really looks like. So I think one of the most important things about somebody landing at a specific company, having that kind of longevity with a specific company, has got to be about the company culture. I mean, it's got to be something that really fits the mold for you. It's a very personal and internal kind of thing, decision, and certainly to stay with it year after year after year. What is it about that particular operation that has kept you on board for so long?
It's the people.
Yeah.
It is 100% the people. Now, I think that for realtors, and everybody at RE/MAX Alliance is a realtor, so we don't have any agents. But when it comes to RE/MAX Alliance and when it comes to deciding on a brokerage for people in real estate, I think the first decision that people make is, are they going to go cheap or are they going to pay for a brokerage that is sort of a full service brokerage? RE/MAX Alliance is a full service brokerage, and I happily pay them everything that they require because I think that they supply us with so much more. So the systems, the back ends, the support, the offices, all that stuff is there. And that's what you'll get from a lot of different brokerages on par with what RE/MAX Alliance costs and what it requires to be a part of it. When it comes down to it, it really is the people. And I think a great example is one of my colleagues and best buddies at RE/MAX Alliance is Robert Crow. He was with another brokerage, and he really was looking for a place where people were happy to get out of bed in the morning, where they show up and they come in with a smile on their face. And it's a can-do kind of atmosphere, and it's a supportive kind of atmosphere. And, you know, Dennis Schick is our broker owner. Hazel Reed is our managing broker. And they have created a culture of can-do, of positivity, of working together, of doing the right thing, of operating with integrity, of protecting our clients and taking care of each other, but just absolute support. Not to mention, you know, 800 agents throughout the state, offices all over the place. So it doesn't really matter where I am in Colorado. I have a RE/MAX Alliance office I can go to. That's all good and well. But when it comes to operating right here in Northern Colorado, the culture of people that we have at RE/MAX Alliance it's phenomenal. I love it. I really do.
And I'm guessing that a lot of what our audience is thinking about when it comes to support has to do with marketing, whether it's marketing themselves to potential future buyers and sellers, marketing properties. Not that that's really all that big a challenge today, although we've certainly seen ebbs and flows of buyer's market versus seller's market, etc. And if memory serves, a lot of that marketing piece is you. That you're actually really hands-on with what RE/MAX Alliance is doing in their marketing.
Yeah, absolutely. As a matter of fact, I consult a lot of the realtors on social media at RE/MAX Alliance. When it comes to putting information out there, they provide us with the channels. They're super active on Facebook. One of the most authentic Facebook pages that you're going to find for a brokerage is RE/MAX Alliance Fort Collins South, where it's like real content. Not, you know, with a lot of brokerages, you can tell that they're paying a company to put content out there, and the content is quality, but you can tell they're not creating it. They're paying somebody else to create it.
More importantly, social media knows that it's not original
right.
organic content. But yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, it's the truth. But, you know, when it comes to RE/MAX, it's kind of like social media should always be a reflection of the reality. You know, if you're an authentic person, then it's easy to create authentic content, and the same with the brokerage. But when it comes to the support of the brokerage, I would say it's a little bit less for marketing because RE/MAX is a do what you'll do kind of brokerage. You know, they're not looking over my shoulder, making me do anything. They basically give me the tools and I can run with it however I want to. The very important part comes down to the crux of what it is to be a real estate agent in Colorado. And the point of real estate agents in Colorado is to protect the public, to make it so that buying and selling property is equal, fair, and easy for everyone. That's the stated objective by the state licensing, to protect the public. So really what I use RE/MAX Alliance for are those tough questions during a transaction.
All right, so Dora, if you're watching, we're all good.
Yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely.
It's like, you know, when things get sticky, whenever I run into a situation, and I can't believe how often I run into a situation that I haven't seen before, and, you know, seasoned agents will hear about a situation that they haven't seen before. Real estate is so interesting in that it can bring us so many different questions. But the beautiful thing about RE/MAX is whenever I run into a situation, I'm like, we could go this way or we could go that way. And I'm not sure which way to go. I have more people to call than I have fingers.
All right. So, and hang on, Paul, because you bring up a really interesting point that we come across on the mortgage side of our business on a regular basis. Obviously, we all know it's no secret that the majority of the real estate agents out there, onesie, twosie. I think the average is still, between 2 and 3 deals a year for the average real estate agent in the United States. So they're not seeing all of these different issues that could pop up, all of these different fires that need to be put out during the course of any particular transaction. Now, granted, if you're a producing agent, and I'll be honest with you folks listening, you have to be to get on our show to begin with. But if you're a producing agent or not, and you're working with a high production operation like Remax Alliance, whatever it happens to be, and we could go on and on with a list of brokerages or offices that are doing that, then you're given this opportunity to have people in your pocket, in your arsenal, that have seen those fires, that know what needs to be done in order to resolve it, in order to put it out. And if you're an agent that's not doing much in the way of volume, and you're looking for a brokerage, you're looking for a place to hang your hat, your license, and you're contemplating one that also does not do a lot of volume, give that a second thought, because the experience, the congruent experience, the total experience of your operation, of your office, of your team members, of your managing broker, of the broker owner, whatever the case may be, is going to pay dividends for those kinds of things as you go down your real estate career path. So I know Paul isn't one to really boast about how important his production is, how important Remax Alliance's production is, but it is something that I want for our audience to consider, mortgage people, insurance people, real estate people, all of you, that there are going to be issues that come up that you've never seen or dealt with. Make sure that you've got people on your team by your side that have seen them, that know how to deal with it, whether it's appraisal issues, inspection issues, on, because that is valuable.
Yeah, and before we went on the air, I mentioned the word competition, and Adam said, competition, what's that? And I really appreciate that, because I know that you come from a place of collaboration and creation rather than competition. And that's the spirit that I get at Remax Alliance, because whenever I have a question, the first call I'll make will be to a manager, and the managers stay in their lane. So if they don't know the answer, they'll say, you know what, I can't answer that for you. And you know who I call? Other realtors. My resource is other realtors that, a lot of times people would consider my competition. And I can't even tell you how these long-time, high-producing, busy realtors will take my call, return my call, spend time with me if I need it, and answer my questions. I mean, people like Jeanette Meyer, Sean Doherty, Jane Spencer, Doug Dodds is a really big one. Robert Crow, I love to ask questions of. Dennis Schick, the owner of the brokerage, who, still has so many things going on, always gets back to me. So yeah, that support is phenomenal. And it just, it makes me feel warm and fuzzy.
Well, and it should. And what you're referring to, and the comment that I made before we went live, was really circumnavigating around this idea that we all need to, the people who are going to produce well, that are going to have job satisfaction, career satisfaction, and make some money, are going to have an abundance mindset, not a scarcity mindset. That's kind of the aura that is deep down inside when I say something like, we don't have any competition, and it's not exactly true. And one of the things that we really talk about, and I may even have mentioned it in my book, is that the only competition any of you really have is you. All you got to do is suck a little less tomorrow than you did today. You just got to be a little better tomorrow than you were today. And that should really be your only competition. Otherwise, yeah, like Paul says, seek out people that have the abundance mindset, because these are the people that know if you're good at your job, if I'm good at my job, then there's plenty of business to go around. And the people that aren't willing to help, aren't willing to share, aren't willing to coach and mentor, so on and so forth, that feel that business is limited or it's scarce, have that scarcity mindset, are not going to either have the same success that you want or do have, or are not going to have the same job and career satisfaction that you want or have.
if you scroll down my Facebook page, my personal feed, I just shared a memory with one of my favorite mentors. His name's Marshall Thurber. It's just a great guy. He's influenced a lot of people in Fort Collins. And one of his lessons was, when it comes down to the scarcity idea, let's not argue over a piece of pizza. Let's go into the kitchen and make more pie.
Yep, that is profound. Yeah, we should make sure that's an excerpt from this, Jen. Let's make more pie. Agreed. Yeah. That's one of the wisest things ever said on this show, and I don't know where we're at, 150 episodes. So yeah, thank you for that. All right, so Paul, when it comes to the marketing stuff, obviously we know we want to be authentic. That's a big deal.
Yep.
We certainly know we want to tap into and appropriately, logically use social media. Part of that, obviously, we all know we need to have original, organic content. And not only does your audience know when it's bullshit, but social media knows. Those algorithms know when it's not original, organic content. I know there are a ton of people using services that do their social media work for them. And I shit you not, people, the social media algorithms that impact your edge rank, how many people see the things you're posting, know whether or not it's coming from you or from a third party. We have that same impact with this particular video cast. Yes, we could skip the open broadcast format, which we use as another piece of software, and that was one that Paul didn't mention when we were talking about using Zoom and Facebook and all these different resources to put this show together. So we know that we are being adversely impacted, although we make logical, weighted decisions about how that goes. But yes, every opportunity that somebody gets to do original, organic, self-started social media content, very, very important stuff. So give our audience some other tidbits and tastes. What other things should they be thinking about, certainly for 2021, certainly as we continue through this pandemic, where everybody's glued to their screens, that they should be focused on?
So, there's maybe 5 different kinds of content. And without my PowerPoint slide in front of me, I might not remember all of them. But, you can inform people. Did you know that the market is in this condition or the market is in that condition? You can have an opinion. The reason why prices in Colorado are so high is because you can have fluff content, which ends up being the majority of content sometimes. And it's okay for fluff content to be there because for me, it's consistent, original, authentic, quality.
Giving people quality a chance to know who you are.
Yeah.
And not just what you do.
Consistent. How often can you do it? You almost can't post too often if it's original, authentic, and quality. When it comes to original, make it yourself. When it comes to authentic, don't sell yourself as something that you're not. Be who you are. Shine a light on yourself. Most of the people who are on social media are doing a great job, and all they have to do is put a microscope on that. And when it comes to quality, the best thing that we can do, I think, is to answer a question that our clients already have or that people already have. So kind of pre-answer a question, educate them in advance, and give them information. And when it comes to fluff, maybe it's just something that makes them smile. So, when you go down my feed, you're going to see some real estate stuff. You're going to see some skateboarding stuff. You're going to see some stuff with my son, and you're going to see some Colorado stuff. And it all kind of varies. But I think, being consistent on social media is extremely important. The best thing that we can do is answer a question or solve a problem for somebody before they even knew that they needed to have that problem solved for them.
All right. So constant and consistent, absolutely, in any and everything you're going to do in your lead gen and marketing without equivocation. Being authentic, this is huge for a number of reasons, even when it's the fluff stuff, because more important than getting the point across on social media of what you do is the who you are. If you guys in our audience are interacting with people and they don't already know what you do, you got to go back to Marketing 101. That everybody you interact with should know that you're in real estate, in insurance, in financial planning, in mortgages, whatever. So being authentic, giving people an opportunity to really get to know who you are, way more important than letting people know what you do. Giving out content that is not self-serving, that's for the greater good of the community, good information, whether it's about real estate or about Colorado or about skateboarding. I'm waiting for the live video with you and Tony Hawk. I haven't seen that yet. Maybe we could, maybe we'll teach Paul TikTok, Jen, And what is the hybrid TikTok thing where I can do a video on someone else's video?
Oh, duetting it?
Duet. Yeah, we
Yeah.
got to get Paul on TikTok duetting Tony Hawk. Perfect. All right.
Perfect.
Very cool. All right, so what about outside of social media, Paul? And don't get me wrong, I know that 2020, 2021, and certainly for years prior to, social media is huge. Video integrating with social media, like what we're doing here, is huge. What do you tend to focus on, or what do you see Remax Alliance focusing on outside of social media for those kinds of activities?
There are a lot of realtors at Remax Alliance who are not active on social media, who do a robust business.
Okay.
Belly to belly, as we used to call it. Belly to belly, real contact. The organic touches, the true touches, the touches that bring content and remind people that we're there. Calling people just to see how they're doing, not worrying about real estate, but staying in touch with people. But, the systems that have worked in real estate forever are the ones that are truly pitched from the top down when it comes to Remax Alliance and what they believe in. They don't have any problem with social media, and they're super active on social media. But when it comes to dealing with real estate, we want to be face-to-face as much as possible. You have the hierarchy of contact. Face-to-face is absolutely the best. It's the most powerful one. In this day and age, a Zoom call is definitely second best. After that is a phone call, and then after that is pretty much everything else. But the power of video, delivering that kind of thing, can be really powerful. But nothing has or will replace face-to-face. And, God willing, this world gets back to normal where we can be belly to belly, not figuratively, but, literally if we want to. We can shake hands and pat each other on the shoulder, and sit near each other and share tables with strangers and shake hands with strangers. That's something that I really hope that we get back to. But when it comes to the stuff outside of social media, it's the belly to belly. It's the real contact that we make with people.
Yeah, that is a big deal, and it has been a very tough year for that, no question. Yeah, I don't think that we would be telling a fib if we said that most mortgage originators, real estate agents, insurance agents are extroverts. Like people, want to talk to people, want to listen to people, those kinds of things. So yeah, it's definitely been a very difficult year that way. I've just about had enough of Zoom, other than what I've seen my stock valuation do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's man, let's just ride it out. Hopefully by spring. It's kind of like, gosh, in the old days they used to have a big celebration before the winter came because they hope everybody made it through. The winter was the tough time.
Right.
Did we store enough food,
Yeah.
to make it through spring kind of thing? And you lock it down, and the dark times of the year, the darkest days of the year, the longest stretches of darkness are here. We wait for that spring and that rebirth, and I really hope we get back to some semblance of normalcy.
Well, coincidentally, that's today.
Yep.
That's the shortest day of the year.
Winter
So,
solstice.
yeah, everybody watching or listening, take comfort in the fact that the days are getting longer from here on out.
That's right. We're only looking up from here.
Yeah.
And, the reason I'm a Pennsylvania boy, I grew up in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, and I went to school at Penn State. And during my studies at Penn State, I had a roommate who had some friends who went to Western State. And Crested Butte used to offer free skiing. They may do it still from time to time because it's a destination location. They'd offer free skiing until like December 20th, just to get people to come to the hotels, when maybe the conditions weren't as good. So my buddy said, hey, my friends are out there. Let's take a trip out. We don't have to buy lift tickets. All we need is plane tickets and food and beer. But,
beer.
So we came out to Crested Butte. It dumped like 3 feet. Huge powder day. I had never had a powder day before in my life. Saw a leftover salmon show at one of the bars at Crested Butte that night and just fell in love with Colorado. And Colorado, that's what brought me out here was, I wanted to be a ski bum. I accomplished that mission in the beginning of my stay in Colorado in 98. But, the days are only getting longer. The snow is only going to get deeper. And hopefully COVID is only going to get better.
Now, I think we're on the return trip. I think we're through the looking glass. If it took us another 10 months to recover from the last 10 months, then that would be okay.
And hey, Adam, can I turn this around on you a little bit?
Sure.
What have been your tips for your team and the people that you're working with when it comes to marketing and serving your clients?
So for those of you that don't already know, and Paul probably does, he's just prodding me here, the Just the Tips coaching program is a year-long, robust amount of content, although we certainly know our limitations. Once we've shelled out all our content to any of our coaching clients, we just kind of wish them luck. We don't, keep them on the hook. Hey, let's meet next week and next week and next week and see how much longer you can keep paying us, which I know is a lot of what goes on in the coaching space out there. But I would say that there are three that I really, really latched onto in my particular little bubble when it comes to marketing for lead gen. And one of the most important things that you already mentioned, the phone. I love the phone. I love dialing the phone. I literally still make hundreds of outbound, non-transaction related phone calls a week. Hundreds a week. That's probably still the greatest source of activity in my mortgage company. Social media was definitely the next one, although there are days and times where it feels really, really overwhelming. In fact, I spent the weekend at our cabin up in the mountains with my older son, and he asked if I was still doing TikTok, and I sheepishly said no, not really, and that it's just one more. And he says, well, the thing about TikTok, and he's such a smart kid, is that you've really got to study it. You've got to understand how the algorithms work in order to get people to follow you, to like your videos, so on and so forth. And I said, well, there's some truth to that in every social media platform. And to be perfectly honest, Jen and I do that with Facebook and Insta and LinkedIn and Twitter and YouTube and frankly, adding in another social media platform that has to be studied and investigated and worked on. And that's even before we start talking about the fact that it could take you an hour to put together a really cool 30-second TikTok video. It was just overbearing. And then I think the third one is video. I think video is this incredible opportunity for people to really get to know you en masse if this is, you. And I get a lot of objections from coaching clients. I don't like the way I sound or look on video. And I've got news for all of you. That's actually how you sound and look. So just do it, because now you're doing it 1,000 to 1 or 2,000 to 1 or 10,000 to 1 instead of 1-on-1, and you still look and sound the exact same way. So I think video is really a big piece of the puzzle. And case in point is that back when we used to do events, when we used to go places, because places were cool. I do miss places. I would, go speak at a realtor conference in California. And people would walk up to me and talk to me like they know me. Now, we've never met, but they do know me. They see these videos every week, the little tip, the weekly little tip, the blog that we do. They see the podcast or the video cast, and they do know me. My wardrobe, what the inside of my home office looks like, or my office, my car, how I speak, my tone, my inflection, my sense of humor. And it's kind of a, fractional paparazzi-esque kind of thing, but people I've never met would come up and talk to me like they know me, because they do. So video really gives you guys that opportunity to really let people know who you are, what you're like. Would they want to work with you? Would they not want to work with you? And that's fine too, because if you're repelling people that you would want to work with, there's nothing wrong with that either. So yeah, I would say the phone, the social media, and the video are probably the three things for, years and years now, even getting into decades, that I really felt I could make a part of me, a part of my marketing, finding buyers, finding borrowers, that kind of thing. And those were the three that stuck.
Jen, what about you? What's your story?
Social media is my thing. So
event planning is her jam.
So Adam made fun of me when I started working for him, and I said event planning was my jam. And then I help plan 2 kick-ass events. So he makes fun of me, but it really is.
It really is, yes. Jen is the steering wheel for the annual Mile High Mastermind event, and they are kick-ass events, no question.
Yeah. But social media, I mean, I grew up on, Zanga and MySpace is literally where I spent middle school and high school. But
Tom,
what was that?
were you friends with Tom on MySpace?
I was friends with Tom on MySpace. Poor Tom. Zuckerberg never friended all of us on Facebook. What is
Seriously?
Tom was our first friend on MySpace with the top 8. No, but social media is my thing, but genuine social media, which has kind of been the underlying current of this entire conversation. Whether you're belly to belly or on the phone or doing video, it's fluff, but it's not. All of that fluff piece you're talking about, that's where people learn who you actually are and what you bring to the table.
Jen,
and I call it.
Go ahead, Paul.
I call it fluff. So I consult Remax Alliance realtors on their social media. Remax Alliance has an agreement with me. I will meet with everybody for an hour, give them an idea of what they're looking at, from complete beginners to advanced people. Just talk to them about what kind of content they can create. And I call it fluff because it's easy to create, but it can be so important because, and if you scroll down my page, tell me how long it takes you to find a Remax balloon. That's just like, I'll take a picture of me with a Remax balloon behind me. I don't write Remax in the caption because it's like, I don't want to sell to people, but it's almost like subliminal. Like, oh, Paul's a realtor. I don't want there to be many posts, fluff posts, that don't show that I'm either a realtor, a dad, or a happy Coloradan. And, that fluff stuff is, it's important. People don't always want to be informed or hear my opinion or, challenged. Sometimes they just want to see a picture of me smiling and it can make them feel better. Remind them that I'm their friend, remind them that I'm there. And, so those fluff pieces, those daily consistent pieces, I think can accomplish a lot for us.
And I think you said something really important there is you're not trying to sell them. No one ever wants to be sold to. And especially as we move forward, people don't want to be sold to. And they'd rather see that you're a happy dad than they would be reminded of the house that's for sale down the street that they can find, on the internet in 2 seconds. So absolutely.
Yeah. People love to buy, but they hate to be sold. Is another quote from my mentor, Marshall Thurber. He just had a huge, huge impact on my life. And I'll tell you that, that being said, I do put my listings on it because I'm super proud of the product that I put forward and making sure that the listings that I have great value for buyers. So I do put that stuff on there. It's just, at appropriate levels, appropriate amounts.
Well, and I want to address that because I think it's important for our audience to understand that you don't need to be doing that. Putting a house out on social media, putting a listing out on social media is not going to sell the house today. And by the time you actually got to click on post, the damn thing was probably already sold.
Yeah.
But because you are proud of what you do, because you like what you do, because you have found a career that makes you smile,
that's the point.
You're still going to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So hopefully our audience picks up something from that as well. And yes, Jen, I know that we're running over, but there was one other thing I wanted you to kind of put out there because I think it kind of encapsulates all of this. You are in that audience of the next huge generation of home buyers, homeowners. And we talk about the millennials all the time. And it seems to me, Jen, that after having this experience, being a lead gen coach, having owned a VA company, having done MLM until the cows come home, you've got this amazing grip on what people really want to see and what they don't want to see in your generation. Give us a few bits and pieces. What do they want to see? What don't they want to see?
I think that's the biggest thing. I presented on marketing for millennials back when the world was somewhat more normal in February in Austin.
I remember.
And the biggest thing is they don't care about the awards you have. They don't care about what the market looks like. If I see one more viral post of every mortgage person that we know posting the same post, I'm going to throw my computer out the window. They don't care about it.
But what are the new loan limits, Jen?
Way too low.
I have no idea, and I couldn't care less. Yeah, I want to know if you care that I have 3 cats and 2 dogs and they need a yard to run around in. I want to know that we vibe as human beings. And that's what we want to know you can do the job, but we can Google you to find out that you can do the job. And that's why reviews are still super important. But the content you're putting on Instagram and on Facebook, we want to see what you do when you're not working. We want to see that you're not a robot just putting together contracts, that you have a dog or you have 3 kids or you like to drink wine. Those are all things that I would appreciate. But it's 90% who you are, 10% what you do. I think the 80-20 rule is getting outdated because millennials, we don't care about that continue ed class you took. We don't care about any of that. We care about who you are as a human. And that goes back to the fact that we've been sold to our entire lives. We grew up in this internet. Everybody's been trying to sell everything to us from the second we got a cell phone. So my little TED talk on.
No, that's welcome. Thank you for attending my TED talk. And no, there's some serious value to that I didn't have, and I don't know exactly how old Paul is. I think he's kind of fall right in between us. But that we didn't have that shit when I was a kid. I mean, there were TV ads, but hell, there were only 7 TV channels.
Yeah.
Right. Eventually, cable brought us, 30 TV channels, and then we really started to see it. But then newspapers were advertising and magazines were advertising. But today, and I can't remember what the exact statistic was, and the last time I heard it was years old. But we're being fed something like 2,000 ads a day through different media sources. And having grown up with that, it's a different animal, no question. Paul and I have seen it develop. It's always been there for you, Jen.
It's been mind-boggling, and I think that's one of the most refreshing things for me about internet content is the fact that the stuff that sticks is the stuff that's truly authentic. So it's like, man, if you're going to try to fool me and you're going to constantly sell to me, I'm going to tune out so fast. So that is what, when I'm consulting realtors that are scared about social media, that are uncomfortable with it, and my message is, look, you don't have to do anything different than you're doing. If you're a great realtor that serves your clients well and you're a regular person, put a microscope on that. That's all you have to do. The best thing you can do is be real.
Yep, absolutely.
I think that's true. I certainly remember a lot of recent individual Facebook Live videos, and I literally watched TV all weekend. My oldest son and I were up at the cabin. We watched a lot of football games and that kind of thing, and I can't remember a single TV ad. They weren't authentic. They weren't, human. Yeah, I literally can't recall one, and I'm sure there were a ton because that's what football games are about, is the dollars, the advertising. All right. Paul, this has been amazing for us. Jen, yes, I know we're way over time. But thank you. This has probably been one of the most, I would think, hopefully our audience agrees, I would think this has been one of the more productive episodes in 3 years that we've had. I think we really got some nitty-gritty content out there, some real solid ideas, both existential, overall 10,000 foot views, as well as some things that people could and should be doing right now to help themselves.
It's been my pleasure. I hope everybody watching has enjoyed it. I'm on Instagram, Facebook. I'm not on TikTok yet. That is the next one for me. But it's been really great, Adam. Thanks for sending me your book and for your contact and for everything that you do. And Jen, thanks a lot for everything. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, it's been great. And Jen, thank you for the feedback. I know I kind of put you on the spot there asking, what millennials think and do these days. So, and of course, kind of opened up the closet doors of your history as well. So thanks for being a good sport.
And just to let you know how old I am, Tony Hawk was an active skater when I was a young person.
All right. He was an active skater when I was not quite as young, but close. All right.
He's still an active skater.
Yeah, that's true. He was the shit when I started riding the skateboard, which ended fairly abruptly with a shattered wrist. Actually, for those of you local, that occurred at Fiddler's Green back before it was a big concert venue. You used to be able to go in and hang out. It was a park, ride down the big hills on your skateboard. Not such a good idea. If my father catches this episode, he'll laugh because I think I hiked my broken bones over to his office right after that occurred and asked
Some of my friends in the neighborhood had the first Tony Hawk board.
Absolutely.
To put it that way.
All right. Well, thank you all for tuning in. We do this almost every Monday at 10:30 Mountain Time. That's 12:30 Eastern Time. And we will certainly be back next week with another episode. If you want more information, if you want to see previous episodes, if you want to catch the weekly little tip, our video blog on something you can be doing to help increase your business, or anything else you want to know about us, the annual mastermind event, copy of my book, use that text code. If you're watching, you see it scrolling at the bottom of your screen. If you're listening, text TIPS to 63566 and it'll ping you back all that information. Other than that, Paul, thanks for joining us. Jen, thanks for letting me poke and prod a little bit.
All good.
All good? Okay. And we'll see all of you guys next week. Make it a great one.